let me quickly tell you, just a little bit about myself. First of all, I'm a board-certified chiropractic physician, a certified wellness practitioner. I'm certified in nutritional response testing. I'm a speaker, an author, and I have been fortunate enough to have helped over 100,000 people around the world lose weight and get healthy. Okay, so the tip I'm about to share helped Mila go from this to this in only minutes. Now, notice the obvious reduction in visible cellulite on Mila's buttocks and upper legs. When it comes to cellulite, unfortunately, women get the short end of the stick no matter how good of shape you're in. In fact, studies have shown that 90% of women, 90% or more of women have cellulite, and the older they get, the more visible the cellulite becomes. Let me give you a super quick anatomy lesson so you'll know why the tip I'm about to share is so effective. And I promise not to get too technical. Okay, the reason why cellulite is more visible on women than men relates specifically to how their connective fat tissues are arranged. We all have strands of connective fat tissue that separate fat cells and the skin. Well, in women, these fibers will form a network pattern that looks sort of like a honeycomb, so that any increase of fat in an area will appear as a bulge. Whereas in men, most of their fibers are arranged in a horizontal crisscross pattern that will prevent any kind of bulging or dimpling. Because of the female skin structure, as the adipose tissue increases, it grows into the upper layers of the skin and, well, this causes two things to happen. First, there's a buildup of fluid, for example, water, in these areas. Our bodies are comprised of roughly 70% water, and in women, much of it tends to accumulate in this honeycomb-like dermis layer. And secondly, it causes a reduction of blood flow to this area. So, to keep things simple, these two factors are the leading causes of the all-too-familiar cottage cheese or orange peel skin. Most all other cellulite reduction methods treat the symptom, but not the root cause. Liposuction, for instance, just removes fat. It doesn't significantly alter the flow of blood and water to those areas. Special walking shoes also have no effect on the underlying problem of water retention and blood flow. And tanning beds, well, look, tanning beds obviously just change the outside color of your skin, which doesn't affect the honeycomb-like bands in the slightest. Even exercising doesn't address the root problem. It simply reduces the amount of fat between the honeycomb-like bands, giving you smaller cellulite dimples. So stop exercising, and you better believe it will come right back. Then the question is it really possible to overcome the genetics that women have been handed? Absolutely you can. And it's actually very simple. See, the key tip is to treat the underlying problem, which is the lack of blood flow and the retention of water in the specific areas that I mentioned earlier. Once this has been addressed, we can let the other methods of cellulite reduction do their job. Supplemental diet and exercise can then have a very, very dramatic compounding effect, which is exactly what we want. But with that said, solely by increasing blood flow and decreasing water retention in these areas, you can see significant changes in the appearance of your skin without adding exercise and diet. So yeah, take a second and imagine yourself going from this to this in only a few short days. So what can you do right now to start fixing these two problems? Based on years of research, we've developed an all-encompassing system designed for long-term, life-changing results. And we call this system the Cellulite Factor. It's made up of several easy-to-understand components. Step 1 is all about speeding up blood flow and decreasing water retention in the dermal tissues, which we've touched on slightly in this video. On page 108, you'll learn how you can actually make your own cellulite reducing kit using an ingredient discovered in East Africa over 1,000 years ago. It's all natural, and I almost guarantee that you already have it inside your pantry right now, even as I speak. This step is as close as you can get to altering your genetic composition, reducing the appearance of cellulite on your legs, thighs, and arms. Step 2 talks about the specific foods that not only slow down the accumulation of cellulite, but actually help speed up the process of reducing it. And you'll be surprised to know that you're probably eating many of these already, just not at the correct times, in the right order, and in the right combinations. All right, then on page 82, we'll take you by the hand and show you what you should be eating, and more importantly, what you should not be eating. You'll be shocked to learn which foods are actually piling on the cellulite by the pound. Yeah, and simply eliminating these foods can do wonders to your appearance. Step 3. On page 111, we'll talk about the real reason why killing yourself in the gym won't eliminate cellulite, and how a certain 3-step process is what will lead to permanent cellulite reduction. Step 4. On page 23, we teach you something that will likely shock you. It's the real reason that many so-called cellulite removers eventually fail, and the reason the cellulite factor system won't fail. Now, once you get through step 4, I'll tell you this right now. You will never look at cellulite the same again. And after just a few weeks, you could see dramatic changes in how you look, and more importantly, how you feel about yourself. The stuff I teach in the Cellulite Factor program isn't a bunch of nerdy mumbo-jumbo and unrealistic steps that need to be followed. It's written in a very straightforward, do this, then do that kind of way that anyone can understand and follow.
Click the link below for more information now.